They have a zero tolerance policy. They kill anybody who is attempting to enter into their country illegally. They are now the safest country in Europe, which is something that nobody expected because they are unapologetic about the fact that they will put their citizens first before any kind of online manipulation, EU rhetoric that tries to make them feel bad and push them to taking in refugees that just end up destroying their country. Illegal refugees, of course. When I say they, I am referring to Poland, which, surprise, surprise, has turned out to be a bastion of freedom and peacefulness against this takeover that we're seeing across Europe. But not only are they doing a great job at proving to Europe how stupid their policies have been up until now, they are unapologetic about it, which is one of my favorite things of all. Because that's what you want from a government, a representation that says we are here to defend our people and no EU pressure, no pressure whatsoever is going to make us feel bad about it. To the point that you have people going now to Poland to film content because it's unbelievable how the contrast between their peacefulness and everything else that's happening, it's so extreme. It's like the olden day Europe. And this is a phenomena that I want to talk about. We did a series on Japan and so many of you commented saying, Poland, you need to do Poland next because they're doing something right. And I think one of the main things that they're doing right is just this. This is Dominic, okay? He's a Polish MEP. Watch how he responds to this liberal English media person who's trying to push him into a corner.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
Love it.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me, if you're asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none, not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked
because this is what we promised. We're happy to receive people who want to come in and assimilate to our society and help it prosper. But we promised that we wouldn't allow them, and we are standing by that promise. How refreshing to hear a politician speaking like this.
Not about illegal immigrants. I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland. And we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
I love that. Her first reaction, but that's racist and the EU don't like it. And he's like, well, guess what? I have trust with my constituents and I've kept them safe because I care about them more about the fact that you're going to call me a racist. And this is what we want from our governments. This is what we want. People who are willing to actually just stand up for the needs. Now, there is a success rate to this. It actually works. Watch this Dutch YouTuber be in complete shock about how safe Poland is, which is so sad because it just tells you everything that you need to know about the rest of Europe.
Look how amazing it is. Compare this to Manchester. These benches would be filled with people selling illegal stuff. You don't see that here, do you? In Berlin, I would see dealers there, group of dealers there, group of dealers there. And as you can see, here, it's clean. Look at how peaceful.
This breaks my heart because this is the Europe that I remember. This is what it felt like growing up.
It looks here, guys. Not one drug abuser, not one drug dealer. What happens when, for example, when you gets robbed at night here?
We are not getting robbed.
It doesn't happen here. I walked here in.
What happens when you get robbed? We don't get robbed. Elon Musk posted this saying Poland not allow uncontrolled immigration. Yes, correct.
What happens when, for example, when you, a Polish girl, gets robbed at night here?
We are not getting robbed.
It doesn't happen here. In Western European countries, you don't feel safe.
Yeah.
And in Krakow, you do, also at night.
Yeah, Krakow, if you're going at the night, and doesn't matter, every time our people, it's safety, you know.
Not one drug abuser, not one drug dealer.
It's so sad how excited they are. Like how shocked he is that this is the reality in Europe. Now, you all know that me and Tyler Oliveria are not friends whatsoever, but he used to be, up once upon a time, a good YouTuber who did really interesting exposés, and he spoke about this over a year ago. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but just the beginning.
Union is.
Watch this.
Let's say I want to go through this wall. I break through the wall. What happens to me next?
You will die like a dog.
The lowest unemployment in European Union is Poland. The highest GDP after COVID, Poland. One of the lowest debts, Poland.
This is Dominic, a member of the European Parliament from Poland, the country that just approved a new measure to shoot and kill anyone that tries to illegally enter their border.
Unfortunately, one of our soldiers was killed with a spear. Because they behave like animals, unfortunately. They don't behave like civilized people. We are the ones with this border. So we are protecting the whole Europe.
But Poland's strict border control and refusal to take in refugees from non-neighboring countries like Syria and Afghanistan has caused the EU to propose a €22,000 fine for each person Poland refuses to take in, and guys like Dominic to be labeled Islamophobic and fascist.
This is what's so crazy about it, okay? So you've got this guy who's saying, look, I want to defend my people. And he's saying, we have a border, so anyone who tries to break in illegally, we don't allow that. And you've got this Dutch YouTuber going around saying, I love this. I'm like, this is safe. It's safe and it's nice. And you've got a beautiful, we'll watch more about beautiful, but look at how the EU responds to this, okay? Like, this is what's interesting to me.
The issue of Islamization in Europe, under the guise of multiculturalism, has stirred unease and provoked heated debates across the continent. Many European nations, once champions of open borders and multicultural societies, are now grappling with the unintended consequences of mass immigration from Muslim-majority countries. The European Union's policy of dispersing immigrants, particularly from Islamic nations, among member states has led to significant tensions. Poland, in particular, has emerged as a staunch opponent of this policy, refusing to accept refugees from the Islamic world. This refusal led to condemnation by the European Court of Justice for violating EU agreements. However, rather than bowing to pressure, Poland has doubled down on its stance, emerging as a prominent voice within the EU and the broader Western world on the issues of illegal Muslim immigration. Poland's approach is not merely about border control or demographic shifts. It reflects a deeper commitment to safeguarding its cultural heritage, sovereignty, and way of life in an increasingly globalized world.
The thing is, okay, besides the fact that we all know that groups like the EU are just so retarded and useless at this point, literally just terrible entities that are trying to destroy their own cultures for no good reason. Here's the interesting thing. Number one, we all know that all the European countries are jealous. They're just trying to make themselves feel better by being like, you're racist. They're all jealous. And they're all looking at Poland and saying, what have they learned? And very soon, I believe, within the next 5 years, Poland will be the leader, but there'll be other countries who are like, yep, Poland was right. We're going that way. But here's the point that I love about that video. It's not because they're racist. It's because they care about safeguarding their own culture. There's a difference. It's not about hating other people. It's about saying, I care about my own. And they out there have tried to manipulate you into thinking that it's because you're racist, because you don't like them. Instead of telling you, no, it's actually about protecting your home, your society, your values. It's crazy that they've managed to twist this all around in such an extreme way when that's the simple truth. Look, in Poland, it's safe to go out.
I'm living in my dream.
You can just walk outside and you have people who defend their people, okay? Polish patriots patrol streets to defend the elderly, women and children from usual suspects. When politicians ignore problems, citizens take it upon themselves to solve it.
Das hier ist eine bürgerliche Patrouille in Polen.
This is a patrol, okay, of men who look like you don't want to come across them if they're angry at you, right? Why? Because they are empowered. They like their culture. They believe that they should be defending their women and their children. They've been told that that's actually a good thing to do, that as a man, they should be doing that and not you should just be pandering and maybe you're a woman. That's not what they believe. They believe that their home is something worthwhile protecting. That is the solution, guys. Of all the things that we have seen, the solution to fighting against a takeover is knowing that you have something that you don't want them to take from you. That's it. It's pure and simple. And Poland have stood by it. And every time somebody calls them racist or yells at them or says something that's not okay, every single time, at the end of the day, the people win. The people who end up winning are the ones who actually defended their own culture. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And remember, there is hope. If you know you have something to fight for, then they can't beat you if you actually take the actions to defend yourself and the ones you love. Thank you again for being here at the Pushback, because we will make a difference and we will push back. And remember, at the end of the day, we've got this.